This it's going live streaming. I'll send you all the link later on.
I think it's a little bit.
Yeah, you want to mess with that? That's cool. That's fine. All right. Okay. So, hey, welcome. What level is visiting with us? What level are you guys? Level 5. Fantastic. And we're going to have more people coming from April's class in a couple of minutes. They're going to come in here. These folks are in level 8, and you know, normally when you do public speaking, people are kind of nervous, and I can promise you, a lot of my students are kind of nervous, understandably. They're very prepared, they're ready to go. It's just that they're talking in front of other people, it makes them nervous. And so, you know, give them your attention, your eyes, and smile, that kind of thing, because they can't help but feel a little bit nervous, that kind of thing, when they're talking. But okay, so what are we going to be debating today? Marijuana should be legalized in Texas. The team on this side will be arguing that yes, marijuana should be legalized in the state of Texas. Legalized meaning like you could purchase it for purposes of recreation, for fun, or for medical purposes, what have you, anything. This team on this side is going to be debating, who's your third person? Not here, that's right, you told me, that's right. They're going to be debating, no, the way it is now, it should basically remain. There are, marijuana should not be legalized entirely, at least in the state of Texas, like it has been done in Alaska and Colorado. So what's going to happen is the team agree will have 7 minutes to make their opening remark, that you guys can split it up however you want. Yeah, no, that's fine. You'll be surprised. You'll actually be talking a lot longer than you expect it will be. They'll have a total of 7 minutes to be talking, and they can take up less time if they want to. But at which point a representative from this team will come up here, and they'll have a total of 7 minutes. And you can split it up if you want. It's like, oh, I don't have anything else to say. You want to have something to say? Well, we have 5 minutes left, that kind of thing. After 7 minutes are done, then they're going to have 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then we're going to open it up to, to the audience here. If you have any comments, any questions for our panel. In addition to that, we have surveys for you to fill out. Basically, it's asking you, which team do you think won the debate? Team agree or team disagree? Which team do you think personally won the debate? And you will go, circle me, right? Another question is, did any arguments cause you to reconsider your opinion? Did any arguments that they make you think again about your opinion? Okay? If so, then you can write it in there, and you can make comments on the back. You can leave your name off of it, because any of these comments will be very helpful to my students, because they will, they will hear your comments about how well they were able to communicate. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pass these out, and while they're being passed out, I'm going to welcome to the big mic representative from Team Agree. Let's give him a warm applause as he's making his way up here. We're going to do the 7 minutes opening remarks. Okay, go ahead. All right. Yeah. Anytime you want. That's fine. Go ahead.
Hello, guys. Our team will debate about marijuana should be legalized in Texas. So if I wonder, none of you guys have know about marijuana, but in my opinion, I didn't know anything about marijuana, except for the day I was searching online about this one. So marijuana is a green, brown, and a gray mixture of dry and shredded leaf, and it's a plant is called like cannabis, if you guys can know it. So you can see marijuana is like a drug, or it can be used in medicals. According to the Nation Institute of Drug Abuse, marijuana is the most abused drug in the U.S. So people use marijuana in smoke cigarette or in the plant, which is a full of marijuana in an empty cigarette. So there are a lot of states have like different policy about marijuana. For example, like California or Indiana or Iowa, they are full of legal marijuana. But except for like Texas, they are full illegal. So that means marijuana cannot use in medical. And some states like Arizona or Oklahoma or Minnesota can use marijuana in medical. And some states like California, people mix marijuana in food. And believe me, marijuana is edible, for you can eat it. Just like brownie, cookie, or candy, they use marijuana. That is wrong. So marijuana have been used for centuries. I think around back in 27th century, medical marijuana is available in different forms. So you can use as an oil, a pill, or a spray in a medical. So now I will give my partner about the benefit in marijuana.
Hello everyone. So, as my friend Kim, she told you about the foundation of marijuana, how does it happen, and basically some benefits of marijuana. So I would like to discuss something about marijuana. Over the years, marijuana has increasingly been prescribed as used for a variety of medical reasons, including pain relief, but its use is remain controversial in the United States. People, they are in still confusion whether to use marijuana or it should be legalized, because the old school people, they still feel that that this will ruin the career of maybe the future generation. So despite this fact, half of all the US have approved the prescribing of marijuana for medical purposes. Legalizing weed for medical reasons is viewed favorably by many Americans, including members of the medical community and the Congress. Some of the argument includes marijuana is far safer than alcohol, which is legal. It's better than booze. Weed is less harmful than legal drugs like alcohol or tobacco, so keeping it banned is pure hypocrisy. In fact, cannabis has proven health benefits from creating glaucoma to preventing or easing the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. There are no health grounds to keep it illegal. It's purely a cultural hangover from days when pot was considered a dangerous exotic import. Tobacco is more addictive than cocaine, but there is no sign that marijuana causes psychological addiction. So, and apart from that, it helps to reduce or control symptoms associated with a variety of illness such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, cancers, and multiple sclerosis. Other drugs are far more addictive than Vicodin, OxyContin, and Valium. It has been used for centuries as a medical agent and yielded a positive results. Even if you consider marijuana as an illegal, but apart from that, people still they are using as illegally. So why not make it legal? Because if you make it legal, it will benefit the country. They are paying taxes to the peddlers who are importing and exporting marijuanas, and they are earning and they are keeping all taxes in their pocket. So instead of giving those taxes or those money to those people, it's better to give it to the government so that they can help the country to make it more better. So yeah, that's all from me. Then I would like my friend Ms. Roma to go ahead and speak something about marijuana.
Okay, like my friends discussed already about the marijuana. The marijuana is also helpful for the patients, including in the cancer skills, the cancer cells like HIV, AIDS, and severe pain relief, vomiting and all. Cranberry, and benefits of can call the and cannabis could help you to lose your weight, manage the calorie intake more efficiently and thoroughly. To fight the cancer, can help the depression, healing the bones of faster, help in anxiety, and lot of benefits of patients to improve marijuana can help. Thank you.
Just to review how this whole thing will go down. They finished their first 7 minutes. Hopefully we'll do 5 minutes later on, and then 2 minutes at the end. And then Q and A. Okay. So now at this point, the team that disagrees that marijuana should be legalized in the state of Texas will have 7 minutes to make their opening arguments, and so let's give them a warm applause as they make their way up here. Yeah. I'm impressed. You're gonna do it.
Okay. Hello everyone. So we are gonna talk about the disagreement of the statement that marijuana should be legalized in Texas. Marijuana is an addictive getaway drug. It significantly impairs bodily and mental functions, and its use is related to increased violence. These are some facts. Marijuana advocates have had some success in arguing that marijuana is a soft drug, similar to alcohol, and fundamentally different from hard drugs like cocaine or heroin. To equate alcohol with marijuana, however, is both ununiform and misleading. Their similarities run only skin deep. For example, a glass of wine has been shown to actually improve health. There is no proof that marijuana improves health. Instead, clinical studies reveal that long-term moderate consumption of drugs impairs short-term memory, slows reaction time, increases the risk of heart attack, and can result in birth defects, strokes, and damage to the respiratory systems and brain. Lacking curative or preventing powers, marijuana, unlike alcohol, is usually consumed to the point of intoxication. Prolonged use has a negative effect on cognitive ability to persist beyond the period of intoxication. So what about addiction? Legalization advocates note that alcohol and tobacco are addictive, not legal. Yes, but marijuana is more likely to cause addiction. One study found that more than 30% of adults who use marijuana in the course of a year became dependent of it, exhibiting compulsive behaviors and signs of withdrawal. But think about the benefits for the society. But proponents then argue legalizing marijuana would slash drug-related crime, they assert. Yet, if and when states legalize marijuana, local demand will increase. Meanwhile, some reputable growers, manufacturers, and retailers will refuse to produce or distribute the drug because of the standing federal laws and the tort liability that attend to such a dangerous product. The vacuum will be filled by illegal drug cartels and black or gray market. So let's talk about my partner. He's going to talk more about the marijuana.
Hello everyone. I'd like to present some arguments and studies that have been found that show that legalizing marijuana is not the best option. So firstly, the arguments are made that it is not a gateway drug and it is similar to alcohol and tobacco in terms of being a gateway drug, marijuana that is. So early exposure of cannabinoids in adolescent rodents has found that it decreases the reactivity of dopamine centers later in adulthood. These findings can be generalized to humans, and this could explain the increased vulnerability of addiction and other disorders in humans. Also, a study found that adults who use marijuana already and had an alcohol use problem, the alcohol use problem could be worsened in case they use marijuana. Studies have also found that when using marijuana, cross-sensitization increases. That is, if if you're taking one drug, another drug hits you harder. Like, instance, if you take THC, your morphine. If you take morphine, the morphine's effects are higher. So this can also lead to increase the effects of marijuana, the gateway effect of marijuana. Arguments are also presented that the revenue from taxes will increase if marijuana is legalized. But however, studies have found that in Colorado, every $1 of tax revenue generated by marijuana incurs a cost of $4.50 by the people in social costs like education, medical related things, and impaired driving and increased court costs. Along similar lines, a study looking at the projected cost of legalization in Rhode Island found that even by conservative estimates, legalization would incur costs that are 25% greater than the expected revenue.
So those are the opening remarks. At this point, we have about 5 minutes for each team to have to address some of the points that they brought up in their opening remarks. So maybe just to give ourselves just a bit of a review here at this point. This team up here, I heard a lot of the points y'all were making has a long precedent. There's a long history of marijuana use. It's nothing entirely new. You made the point I heard earlier about how it might have some potential health benefits, etc. Among other things. Can't remember at this point. Among other things. And this team, of course, was making the point that that even though marijuana might, when it's legalized, it might be taxed and might be bringing some revenue into the government. There's other costs that would be brought into play, as well as it's highly addictive and might bring on brain damage, among other things. Okay, so yeah, keeping all this in mind as you reconsider your opinion about whether or not marijuana should be legalized. So now at this point, I'm going to allow this team to address any, to say something else, or they can address some of the points that they were making. 5 minutes to this team. Okay, all right, let's give them a hand, everybody. Yay, whoever wants to do it. Yeah, all right. Is it going? It is going, correct? Okay. Yeah, anytime you want. Go right ahead.
So, your team say that marijuana is affecting human about mental function, but do you have any proof that people use marijuana have a mental function about what? And you say that it's similar to alcohol, but the facts show that the alcohol is kill people more than they use marijuana. And can you have a fact what is similar about alcohol? People can addicted to alcohol, so marijuana is not easily addicted by alcohol, more than alcohol. You say about society that marijuana is increase crime, but like drunk driving is more cost to deadly more than you use marijuana. And you say about a healthy problem. So, but the marijuana may affect with the health in human, but it also can be a medicine to cure like the cancer. So, if one of the part in marijuana can kill the cancer cells, and they help human to relieve the pain. If you say that marijuana is not really help, I think it's wrong. And according to the Queen Flower, they have a lot of benefit about marijuana. They have about 50 benefit of marijuana in health. They like to help people to lose weight, to fight cancer or relieve muscle, and in fact, they can increase job. Like in Colorado, recently they legal the marijuana, and they increase like 1,000 to 2,000 jobs in 2014.
Hello guys. My friend Mr. Taha was talking about some of the disagreement about using marijuana, or I mean to say legalizing marijuana. So the first point he spoke about was the marijuana does not improve health. So my question to Mr. Taha is, does smoking improve health? So smoking a cigarette improves health? No. So even though it doesn't do that, it's still legalized. But there has been a research done on marijuana, and as I told in my earlier speech, that marijuana helps to reduce symptoms associated with a variety of illness such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, cancers, and multiple sclerosis. My friend says that this drug is much more stronger than any other when mixed up with some other drugs. But it's been found that till now there is no death being caused by marijuana. So how you can assume that it's harmful if there is no death? In long due course it may give you a problem, but it depends on human to human, because even though if it's not legalized, people they do use it. So it's all about you, it's all about your control. And even about the taxes, he said the taxes, it's gonna be, the expense is gonna be high as per the revenue earned from the taxes. So I would say it's better to have something than nothing, because at least people now, in order to buy marijuana, they are stealing, they are doing criminal activities to get those monies and buy marijuana. And if those marijuana get legalized, so at least the cost will go down and they can buy it from their pocket. So yes, these are all benefits, and that's it from my side. Thank you.
Oh, it's on. Anyway, this side is now going to present their counter arguments to them in 5 minutes.
Alright, so I'd like to present
That's okay. No problem.
some facts about how these guys were talking is that marijuana is very beneficial to your health and it does not affect you. First of all, smoking does affect you. I will not disagree on that. But smoking marijuana also does. It's the same thing as smoking a cigarette, is smoking weed or pot. Because smoke is smoke and it affects your lungs in a bad way. And also, according to a 2014 Northwestern medicine study on teen marijuana users, memory-related structures in the brain appear to shrink. And also, I have previously stated the rat experiments of how their dopamine centers were affected in their adulthood, and this increases vulnerability, which can lead to depression, suicidal thoughts, and also decrease in white matter in the brain. A 2017 review of research by National Academy of Science, Engineering and Medicine found that there is substantial evidence of statistical association between cannabis use and the development of schizophrenia or other psychosis. So these studies clearly show that marijuana isn't the best for your health. It appears to be so anecdotally, but there have never been many researches in this field, so you cannot say that marijuana is beneficial for your health. And the people who say it cures depression or cancer, it does not cure cancer. It helps in pain management, but that is also anecdotal and not proven by research. And Christy will continue from this.
Okay. Also, I have another example of the University of study from the New Zealand conducted in part by researchers at Duke University showed that people who start smoking marijuana heavily in their teens and are ongoing marijuana use disorder lose an average of 8 points of their IQ, so that is bad for your mental, that is one of the things that is bad for the mental function. Also, another study for twins, they are both one with marijuana and the other one without marijuana, and one of the lady who has the marijuana, like the study and do the research, show also an equivalent of 4 points below the sister who has without marijuana. So that is another fact that shows that marijuana shouldn't be legalized. I also want to talk about something. How many of you are parents here? I think that many of you are parents. And imagine that you can find at the supermarket brownies with marijuana for your children. What do you think about that effect on your children? Do you think that is good? Do you think that is bad? So in my personal opinion, I think that marijuana shouldn't be legalized because that is something that we can support people who do wrong things. Nowadays, because of the days is changing, that now we accept all of those things. So in my opinion, I think that marijuana shouldn't be legalized because then it has a lot of effects on children. There are many people who suffer. For example, I'm from Colombia. In my country, we have a bad stereotype of these kind of drugs, a lot of drug dealers, and we suffer for many years for the stereotypes because we grow marijuana in our country, and that's why I don't think marijuana should be legalized. I think that we have to work together to combat that drug that affects many people.
I could tell that both sides were listening to each side and taking notes and then responding specifically to what each side was saying. Very thoughtful and prepared responses. I should also point out that each team, the members of the team over here and the members of the team over here, they were put in these teams. They didn't choose them because they personally believed this. The challenge was they picked a piece of paper randomly out of a container, and it's like, oh, I've got to defend agree on this position. Oh, I've got to choose disagree. So despite we have no idea what they actually feel, the challenge was they have to defend something that they may or may not necessarily agree with. So at any rate, now's the time for closing remarks. It could be basically summary, not necessarily any new points to be made. Think about how you might what sort of comments you might be making on your survey, etc. I'm going to give 2 minutes for closing remarks to this team, and then later you can think about a question you'd like to ask one of the teams. All right, 2 minutes. Yay! All right. Looking good, looking good.
Okay, so at the end of this controversial conversation, I would like to focus on a few points. As my friend discussed that smoking or marijuana causes depression and suicide. See, it's all up to an individual because depression can be caused by anything. It's not specifically marijuana. It can be caused by alcohol. It can be caused by mental problems. So you cannot simply blame marijuana as a cause of depression. So, but it is how you handle your depression. Even smoking, even drinking alcohol, if you don't have any control on them, then yes, you're going to go into depression and you're going to do suicide. So, and as even my friend agree on that marijuana do help in pain management. So that's it, man. So pain management is what a kind of a medical treatment which every individual needs. It's not always a physical thing. So basically, and also Ms. Christie, she said that when you legalize marijuana, it will be easily available in the supermarket. According to me, that seems to be really good because nowadays you don't know what your kids are doing because they are buying those marijuana from those people, those who are brainwashing, and they might put them into those kids into a different field, not choosing their right path. So it's better you know that their children, you're having marijuana in front of you. At least you can control them. At least you can have an eye on them, and you can say and you can control their future. That's it. Thank you from my side.
And anytime you want. Go ahead.
So, in conclusion, I'd like to say that the financial cost, the mental cost, and everything in between is not the cost that marijuana incurs on the human world is not enough to make it legal. Especially if, as studies have already shown, the financial costs incurred by marijuana are greater than the revenues that are being generated by marijuana. And also, pain management pills that are approved by the FDA go through rigorous clinical trials and may take up to 10 or 12 years just to get into the market. And not research has not been done on marijuana's pain management, and it is just anecdotal. As in, if I'm a cancer patient and I'm going through chemo, I take marijuana, I feel good. And this is just my experience. Not everyone could experience that. So, clinical trials have not been taken place, and these risks that we are going to take on our mental health are far greater than the pain management that can already be taken by drugs that are approved by the FDA. So, I'd like to say that marijuana should not be legalized right now, and more research should be done.
Both teams, they both did so much. Listen, it just occurred to me. Is anybody not sure what marijuana is? Cannabis, weed, okay. It's an illegal drug here in the United States. But, okay, now at this point, we're going to open up. You're welcome to, anybody here in the audience is welcome to raise your hand and ask a question to either side of the team, and then you can stay seated. I'll hand you the mic. We'll do it that way, okay? And then after that, I'll just take up your surveys, etc. Okay? So I'll open it up now for anybody to, yeah, if you need a moment to think about it, I'll maybe one side has a question for the other side, etc. Maybe just as a quick challenge while you're thinking about the question you'd like to be thinking about. Anybody want to hear? Yeah. Oh. I'm actually just curious. Now you were defending. Now, by the way, Christy found out this morning she's going to be talking about this. And I think she did. They both did an incredible job. They just kind of put it together in about 30 minutes and a lot of research, etc. Christy, do you have an opinion, honestly, about the marijuana debate personally? I know you were defending in your position about that you should stay illegal, but do you actually have an? You're not sure. You're kind of on the fence about it. Okay.
Because of what I said, that in Colombia, that is like a topic very hard for many people to talk about it, because we suffered many years ago, and we have a lot of cartels of drugs, and I think that they just encourage violence in the country, and that is something super bad for me. But in the other side, I said like, okay, what about if we legalize the marijuana? So that is not gonna be something that it's prohibited, so you don't have the insurance to do the prohibited things. So maybe that's a good reason, in my opinion, to agree with the side of legalizing marijuana.
Okay, cool. Anybody have a question for either side? Weigh in, etc. Tama, did you actually believe the way that you defended today, or did you actually have a personal opinion about it one way or another?
You made a great case for it. In the beginning, I thought that it should be legalized, but then as I did like research to find out arguments that are against legalization, I found that maybe it is better this way. And our legislators should be like contacting scientists and people who study this, and then take steps accordingly, and it should not be taken willy-nilly saying, okay, this group says if marijuana should be legalized, it should be, or this group says it doesn't, so it shouldn't be so. That's my.
He was on the fence and then he actually changed his mind a bit. Okay, we have a question from the audience. Go right ahead. You can just say it out loud.
Okay, have one person in Brazil and she had epileptic attack and
Epilepsy?
epilepsy, and her unique medicine was marijuana, and she had to travel here from another city to take this because it was illegal. And she had to travel in this city to get marijuana, and that she used it like a really strong medicine, so this can help her to don't have like this attacks.
Seizures.
Yeah, and constantly. So my question is, if you guys if you two can you imagine it, if you have a strong disease, yeah, so would you take this like for medicine? Because it's the only medicine what can save you.
Okay.
So we will take it or you will die.
Epilepsy helps with the symptoms, and would you take marijuana yourself if it were to help with the symptoms? I believe it does summarize it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else want to say?
If it did, yes. If it did help, obviously I'd take it if I had epilepsy and it helped. But I'd also take alternatives if there are any. Go to doctor probably and see what he says. Go to talk to expert.
Is the last option for your life or for save your life?
Last resort sort of thing. Okay, I'll let this side respond to that at all. Anybody else want to weigh in about that necessarily? About her question? Okay, not necessarily. Anybody else want to raise your hand and ask a question to either side? I'm going to continue with this now. You pick the piece of paper out. I've got to argue. I agree that legalization of marijuana is a good thing. So, did you actually feel that way, Mr. Delete? Or do you have an opinion one way or another?
So personally, I disagree on legalizing marijuana. Yes, because already cigarettes and alcohol are being legalized, and we don't want to put another thing in the society because anyways it's gonna harm the country or maybe the people. So it's better you can, yeah, but there's always an alternative. You can do other way. You can simply legalize only for the medicinal purpose. Instead of legalizing for all people, it's better to legalize for the medicinal use, so that because everyone is speaking that it has good benefits. So what benefits in terms of health, right? So why not doctors should use it, not the individual? Okay.
Anybody else want to ask a question about? Oh yeah, Mr. Rahim.
I want to add in some
You want to add
points.
something? Oh, you want me to use the mic? Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it's great. Mr. Rahim.
So I like to clear some things up. Just like you said, that it's only for pharmaceutical use, but people go to pharmacies to buy marijuana. There's pharmacies for marijuana, like in California and Colorado. They are prescribed. That's the only way they can use it. Mostly it's used as that.
But at least this way we can minimize. We cannot completely stop.
We can't minimize it. It's
your choice. If you want to buy it, you kill and you buy it.
well, see, having it out on the streets, I kind of agree with not legalizing it, and you can support your local drug dealer. But that's not the point. You can't legalize it. But she said that you can't go to a supermarket and just buy weed off like a brownie, off of off the you have to go to a specific pharmacy to buy that. You can't. Yeah, you have to have a license prescribed by a doctor. It's just like having just another kind of drug. If you want any other kind of drug, you gotta have a prescribed medicine for it. It's similar to that.
Even though it's not legalized, half of the United States are using that drug. So it's like
They're gonna get it either way. They're gonna get it either way. If they legalize it, the prices are gonna go down. and it's gonna be more accessible. But regardless, it's accessible to anyone. You can go out there on the streets and you can buy it probably from anywhere you want. It's not, if you ban it, it's completely out of the country.
All right. Thank you, brother. Does anybody else want to? Yes, sir. You go ahead and just say it out loud. Or you want to use the mic? Either way.
Yes, everybody listen me? Listen to me? No. Okay. No. Okay, my name is Santiago. I level 2 English, sorry if you understand a little bit, sorry. But my question is, you all people, when talking about marijuana, the people say only is for smoking, or the people, oh yes, I'm smoking marijuana. But the point is this, I think marijuana is the tree, the flower, yes? My point, my idea, in my opinion, I am read a documentary. I am listen the scent, a little, teeny scent, yes, you understand? Okay, the scent. You can use for change the petrol, oil, the oil. You can change the oil.
You trade it for oil. You could trade a dime bag for oil. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the scent.
Cannabis oil.
Yeah, you can oil. The car, when you drive car, you can put gas. Yes.
You can make cannabis oil.
Yeah, you can change a little the scent. The biofuel. Yeah, it's a biofuel. It's biofuel. You can change. It's other energy for the car.
You're right.
Yeah, it's the other energy for the car. For example, the flower, you only can smoke. You can put in your skin, or maybe the grandma when have the leg very big.
Swollen.
Yeah, very big. You can put marijuana, clean marijuana. Yeah, but the old people think it's bad because it's only smoking. Bob Marley smoking. I don't know. The old people thinking for me bad because marijuana is only smoking. For me, in my opinion, I am agree because. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's on the side. That's okay.
My question is, do you think if legalize marijuana, the cartels or the drugs disappear or no?
Would disappear.
Disappear?
Okay, gotcha. You legalize it when cartels disappear. I like your other points you were making about biofuels and other things like that. But anyway, anybody else? Let's do this to this side here. You wanted to weigh in about you kind of touched on that already about would cartels and illegal activity, violent activity disappear?
Yeah,
That's what you're asking. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that they disappear because marijuana is not the only drug that they sell. They have other one like cocaine, heroin, and many others. So I don't think that they will disappear if we legalize marijuana.
Also, if marijuana is legalized, it will be highly regulated in any country, and when it is highly regulated, people will want to cheat the system, and that's where like cartels and illegal smuggling operations come through.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing your.
I can say other questions.
Please, yeah, go ahead. I don't think anybody else wants to.
My other question is in economy. The country, do you think if you legalize marijuana, if you legalize not only marijuana, if you legalize other drugs, you thinking the economy of about country high? For example, in my country, I'm from Colombia. In my country, if you Colombia legalize marijuana, Colombia can pay all bills in my country.
Boost the economy if you legalize.
Only legalize marijuana.
I've already talked about two researches. One was a study on Colorado, and where they earn $1 in tax revenue by like marijuana sales, and then with that they incurs a cost of $4.50 on the taxpayers for medical insurances, impaired driving costs, the court costs, and also a study found that if marijuana legalized in Rhode Island, it will the expense incurred from marijuana legalization will be 25% higher than the revenue that is gained. So it could vary from state to state, and it depends on how it is taxed.
Hard question. I'm sorry, anybody else want to weigh on this question?
But you know, when you legalize marijuana, so there's two factors. Either you think in terms of country benefit, or either you think in terms of human benefit. If you maybe your country will grow, but your future generation will stop there. You won't see any engineers, you won't see any doctors, you won't see any high professional or businessmen, anything from your country. So I'm going to say it depends. It's all individual control. How you grow up in your family. Your family are the major responsible. They have to take care of their kids so that they don't get into wrong hands. That's it. Thank you.
All right, cool. I'm gonna hand everybody. Yeah, everybody's. I know we're wrapping up. I'm just curious. What do you feel personally? Yeah or no? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, so you agree with the position that Kim, did you? No, you disagree. You want to?
Yeah. She had to argue the position she didn't
Really,
agree with.
because I disagree because Texas is illegal about gun, and if legal about marijuana, it's not really good. Like sometimes like that, yeah. So
Thank you all for coming out, everybody. I'm going to send out a link so you can watch the video later if you want to, but I appreciate you all making. Hey, fill out your survey. Your survey you can put right in here, okay? Survey you can put right in there if you filled it out. Thank you, guys.